Last week, we talked about monochromatic color schemes and tints and shades. And so just to review, tints were any color plus white. You get those soft light colors like baby blue and pink by adding white. And shades are any color plus black. So you get those deep, dark, rich colors like forest green and navy blue by adding black to a color. And then we talked about monochromatic color schemes, and I know not all of you guys chose to do that project. Some of you did our special project instead. But if you did this project, or even if you didn't, you should know that monochromatic color schemes are basically just a color scheme or a set of colors that you choose for your artwork, and you use just tints, shades, and the color. So basically, if I were going to have my paint on my page, or on my palette to get ready to paint, I would have my one color that I would squeeze onto the palette, and then I would have white, and I would have black. So only 3 little pools of paint. It's not like I'm going to get this blue marker and this kind of turquoise marker and this kind of navy blue marker and this marker that has a little bit more purple in the blue. It's not like I'm going to get all those different blues together, because that would be an analogous color scheme, not monochromatic, because it's only really that one particular shade of blue, and then, the tints and shades of it, okay? Not variations of the color. So that was last week. This week we're building on our knowledge of color by learning about tones. And so tones are related to gray. So first, you guys need to know how to make gray, and I think probably most of you guys already know how to make gray, but basically gray is black plus white. If you add more black, it's a darker gray. If you add more white, it's lighter gray. Pretty simple, okay? But when we start adding, when we mix those together first, so we have gray, and then we add gray to a color, that creates what we call a tone, or some people will refer to these as muted colors, because they tend to look really soft and less kind of in your face than your normal colors. So we're going to have a look at tones. Black plus white equals gray. The more white you add, the lighter your gray is going to get. While we're working in Sketchbook, you're going to see that sometimes the black looks gray already, and that's because it's set to partial opacity, meaning that it's set so that it will be see-through so that the colors can mix within Sketchbook. So if I'm using black and it's set to partial opacity and I'm drawing on the whiteboard, part of the white is going to show through and already mix to gray, just so that you know that. As you can see here, the same is true for white. You don't even see the cursor when I'm using the white, but when I hover over the black, it already looks gray. But as you see, as I keep adding more and more of that see-through white, it eventually builds so thick that it becomes white. Let's take a look at our digital color wheel up in the top right corner. We already know that we have black at the very bottom of that diamond, and we have white at the very top of the diamond. Our pure colors are on the very right-hand corner of the diamond, and on the left-hand corner of the diamond is pure gray. All that stuff in the middle, those are all your tones, because all of that area in the middle, to a lesser extent or greater extent, all of that has some gray mixed in. As you move toward the top, you have lighter grays with more white, and as you move to the bottom, you have darker grays with more black. And as you move closer to that gray corner, it's more gray, and as you move closer to the pure corner, the corner of pure color, it's less gray. So all that middle area is tones of color, and as you can see here, you get some really interesting different kind of toned down looking colors that are much more sophisticated than just pure color. Let's look at some tones of red. And here are some tones of purple. Those were taken directly off the color picker, but you can mix tones as well. So I wanted to show you that in Sketchbook. and I'm showing you just using black and white. You could also go to that corner of pure gray and just absolutely get some gray, but I just wanted to show you, and here what I'm doing is I'm alternating back and forth between choosing some white and choosing some black, and both of them again are, they have limited opacity, so I've reduced the opacity on the brush, which means that it's see-through black or see-through white that I'm adding on top of the color to allow the color to show through. But as you can see, the more and more that I build up the white and the black, the closer those colors get to some of the tones that we picked directly off the color wheel. Now that you know how tones work, I'm going to give you a project to do to explore tones. So one of the things about tones is that we use them a lot in interior design because they're kind of more grown-up colors. We tend to look at those rainbow colors, without anything added to them, and we think of those as being really childlike. Those are for like little kids. If you think of like your kindergarten room decorated in like red, blue, and yellow, your primary colors everywhere, and sometimes it feels like a little bit much color-wise. And so those soft, muted colors, those tones, really come in a lot into interior design. So like if we're designing a room or whatever and picking fabrics, or even in fashion, you'll get a lot more of those toned down, muted colors. So your project today is to do a drawing. Okay, so you're going to draw a design of a room. It can be any room that you can imagine, or something that already exists if you want to draw from that. But you want to design a room. You can design the furniture. You can design the curtains. You can design the paint color. You can design, everything, all the little accessories that you're going to draw in there. And you're going to use muted colors, or toned colors, okay? So your colors that you add to this drawing should include gray added to them, just like I showed you how to find it in Sketchbook. You can use Sketchbook if you want, or you can use colored pencils or paint but you'll need gray to mix in, or black and white to, layer. So you could, like, if you have a white colored pencil and a black colored pencil, but you don't have gray, and other colored pencils, then you could absolutely do like layers of, say, your color, then a layer, I would say a light layer of black, and then a layer of white over that to mix it, or same with crayons or whatever else you want to use. If you have gray, that's easier than having to mix it yourself, but you do actually have more control when you use black and white, because you can choose how much black and how much white, so like how dark or light your tone is going to be. So go ahead and design your room using tones for all your colors, and then attach that. Make sure that you take a picture of it and attach it to your assignment for the week. All right, guys, have fun with it.